I'm going to be honest here. I saw it. You're watching this. And if you're expecting me to say this was a great show or an incredible show, I'm not the right reviewer for you to watch. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. And the truth is this. The ending of the show did not save it. This was an average show. Mind you, there were matches in there that were good. But if you're going to see this, and this is the way I see it. And I know a lot of people are going to say, dude, why do you watch wrestling then? You're always saying something's bad. Well, as a reviewer, you got to tell the truth. And I'm going to tell the truth. This show could not be saved because of the ending. Yes, the crowd cheered their asses off. But it does not mean the show was great. This pay-per-view was average. It just was. I didn't have much interest going into the pay-per-view. And I will say that it was better than I expected. But it does not mean it was an incredibly great show. It was average. Maybe the same type of Raw show, maybe slightly higher than a regular Raw because of the ending. It was slightly higher, but in the end, this was still a Raw show. It was just like an episode of Raw. Just a couple of extra things thrown in to make it a little bit better. So this is Raw, this is this. That's not much of a difference. Yeah, it is a little bit higher, but it doesn't mean it was better. So let's go to the opening, which is the kickoff. And I'm just going to say briefly. I felt sorry for Alicia and Sasha Banks being on the kickoff show. It's not about their feud being good. It's about this. Alicia Fox gets a bad rap. She's not that bad of a wrestler. I've always said Alicia does have ability. And when she's used properly, can get a storyline over great. She can do good wrestling in the ring. But when she's not booked properly, she sucks. And that's where we're at right now with Alicia Fox. She's here. And then you got Sasha Banks, who last year was headlining more than just a pay-per-view, but headlining most of the Raw shows. She was here. Look at this. This is what you get. You got two women who not been cared about, having a feud that really doesn't matter, and then having this match. It just felt like a waste of time. Not because they had bad chemistry. They actually got good chemistry. They kind of look like two hood rats. If no one knows what a hood rat is, in New York particularly, a hood rat is someone who comes from a government project who is the type of person that just likes to cause drama. Or just like to be like a troll on the internet. Just likes trouble. And that's what both of these women were acting like. Two freaking hood rats that just wanted to have trouble. And both of them kind of clashed. And they just basically tried to kick each other's ass. That's what it felt like. It wasn't a bad thing, but it doesn't mean it was good either. That's how I felt. Now, opening up the show was with Asuka and Emma. I was actually kind of surprised. I really thought they would not have Asuka and Emma open the show. I would have thought they would have Enzo and Callisto open the show. I'm being honest. That's what I thought. I thought Enzo, because his storyline with the Cruiserweights was not that great compared to Asuka's debut. But they decided to throw Asuka as the opening match with Emma. So was the match good? It was good. I say it was the third best match of the night. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, what? Well, I'm seeing it for what it was. There are other matches during the show that were better. I'm not saying Asuka wasn't good or Emma wasn't good. The quality of the match was okay. But one, there was no story. Two, it was in the opening of the show where it should not be. It should have been the Cruiserweights opening the show. Not Asuka, not Emma. You build up Asuka as this incredible monster. She should be where the Cruiserweights were. So that's the way it really should be. Now, since I'm talking about the Cruiserweights, Enzo and Callisto having a match. I did not care. I'm being honest here. I didn't care. You know why? You had an incredible opportunity with Enzo closing the show multiple times of Raw. He's closing it, and then the viewership actually went up. People heard the first week. They showed up the next week. People cared about the next week. Guess what happened? everything drops down because Kalisto wins the freaking title. When he should not be winning the title, it should still be about Enzo. And what do we get? We get Enzo regaining the match. Enzo winning that title was ridiculous. Not because he shouldn't win it. Because he needed to have that title. Because 205 Live needs him. But guess what? I don't care anymore. Because one, Enzo lost a freaking title at the main event of a Raw, which he shouldn't have. Two, after he loses that title, now he has friends in the cruiserweights when he didn't. I'd rather see him call people cannolis and schmucks. And three, having Kalisto win it here, when honestly, if you want to make it more special, he should wait until, not WrestleMania, but like Survivor Series, and build him up, since he now has become a part of the cruiserweights, would have been a better thing. So I didn't give a damn. I didn't care. I didn't. Now, this is something I did care about a little bit. Will you walk with Elias? 3 times we get an Elias segment. 3 times he got food thrown on him by Jason Jordan. This is a problem I had. Jason Jordan should not be messing with Elias. Elias does not need to job to Jason Jordan. He just doesn't. Elias has been getting good traction as a heel. He has been doing great work as a heel until now he just lost his ass to Jason Jordan. He just lost to Jason Jordan. A guy who is really popular as a heel, who is making those people boo him. He was booed the first try. He was booed even louder in the second turn. And then he was still about the same level of booing in the third turn. That shows he's getting over as a heel until he just lost to Jason Jordan. It would have been better for him to job by DQing. That would have been better. Here, it's a waste. And that pisses me off. But I'm not going to lie that I enjoyed the Elias segments. I did until he jobbed. Now, let's go to the women. Let's go to the match of the night for me personally. I know a lot of people would say, dude, it wasn't the best match of the night. For me, it was. And that is Mickie James versus Alexa Bliss. You got a good story with a Mickie James. Mickie James being told, you're too old, woman, go in an old folks home and wear a push-up bra because your boobs have been hanging. Sorry for late. I'm not trying to insult no ladies who have to wear push-up bras because their breasts are saggy. I'm not being like that. I'm just saying that's what they're trying to go with. An old saggy woman who can't perform anymore in the ring. Then you got Alexa Bliss, who's doing absolutely everything she can to keep her title. And then you have this match, which was, as far as I'm concerned, the best match of the night. It just was. The story was good. The pacing was pretty good. The outcome I do not agree with, because I do believe that unless they're going to do this at Survivor Series, which I actually think would be a better idea, Mickie James should have won. But if they're actually going to give Mickie James a second chance at winning that title, and they're going to do it at Survivor Series, I'm all for her losing here. Because if she won here, but didn't have to job at Survivor Series, it would be a foolish thing. So my feeling is this. Having her job here doesn't hurt her, particularly after that point she talked with Charlie. Charlie helped her to get so over, the crowd cheered her ass, and I loved it. But the thing is, if she is going to eventually get that title, it should go at the big 4 pay-per-views, and since Survivor Series is less than, well, roughly about a month and a quarter away, I'm alright that she lost here as long as she's built up more properly, and then again gets a chance at the title, and then wins it there. I'm perfectly fine with it. Now, the next match, which was the second best match of the night. AJ versus Finn Balor. Now, I knew that this was going to be a good match. And it was a good match. And I'm sure everyone's going to say that this was the most incredible match of the night. It stole the show. No. It did not steal the show. One, there was no story behind it. And I know a lot of people say you don't need a story. You kind of do. Because these guys belong to the Bullet Club. Both of them at 2 different times. And instead of focusing on that, saying that they were both in 2 factions, look, they can't use the Bullet Club in WWE, but they can mention the Bullet Club in passing of passing history. And they could have really hammed that up for the crowd. Now, I know the crowd was really into the match, and I did enjoy it. But because there was no story, and because it's not like they're going to be doing this often, you got one on SmackDown, one on Raw, and it was because some guys got a viral infection. It just didn't feel that important. The match itself was of great quality. Good match. But I gotta say this, and I'm gonna say this very clearly. If anyone else says I'm wrong, explain why. If you compare Finn Balor to an AJ Styles, to be honest, AJ is a far superior talent than Finn Balor. If you put Finn Balor up against Daniel Bryan, Finn Balor is no match for Daniel Bryan. He just is not as great as everyone says he is. Now, I'm not taking anything away from him, but as a top tier talent, he really isn't. He needs more character development to become a top tier talent. Having the ability does not mean having the top tier position. He just isn't that good. I'm not saying he couldn't become that good. Just right now, he's just not that good. AJ, on the other hand, could pull off a Daniel Bryan. He can. He has the ability. He has the talking ability. He has the charisma. Finn just does not have it. So as much as people want to say Finn is incredibly good, he just isn't. And I had to say that. Now, let me see here. Already said that, already said this. Okay, the Shield versus everybody. Look, I really didn't care about this going into it. I just didn't. It wasn't that I wasn't going to enjoy seeing Kurt Angle wrestle. But I had a feeling that Kurt Angle really wasn't going to be doing that much here. He just wasn't. Because not only did I hear other people talking about worrying about if Kurt Angle can go because they're still worried that he still hasn't fully recovered. They rushed him because of this. And to be honest, I do agree. He should have came back by Survivor Series. Or at least Royal Rumble. Instead of here. It just didn't feel that important having him there. And next to that, if he hasn't fully recovered, as you saw during the match, he really was holding back. As much as people are going to say by the end of the match, he wasn't holding back. He was holding back. Kurt Angle was holding back a lot. He just was not showing the Kurt Angle we know. Now, I'm going to say this. Kurt Angle is not rusty because 5 or 6 months before he came, about 3 or 4 months before he came into WWE, he was still wrestling. So we know he's not that bad in ring rust and not that bad in stamina. But when it came down to it, he really wasn't ready for this. And to be honest, having him here just didn't help. For the simple fact, it felt empty. To me personally, once he was taken to the back, and yeah, he came back out and did what he did, the entire match felt empty. Like it didn't matter. The crowd went quiet at one point. There was nothing going on until Braun Strowman and the Kane started having conflict. The chair shot to the back of Braun Strowman started it. Kane getting knocked to the face continued it. Then you got Kane choke slamming him through the, not the stage in front of the Titantron, but to the side where the commentators were. Then you got the chairs being pulled down on top of them. Then what did you get? You get the beat up of everybody except for Kane, who managed to subdue him long enough to get him inside of a garbage truck. I don't know if that was a good thing or not. Having the garbage truck take away Braun Strowman. I just don't know. But then I'm thinking, did he turn face? That's what it kind of makes me think. Did Braun Strowman just turn face? Or did he become a betweener? I don't really know. We're going to have to wait until Monday to see how far he's going to go. Is he going to go after the Bar? Is he going to go after the Miz? Is he going to go after Kane? Is he going to go for the Bar and Miz and Curtis Axel before he goes to Kane? Because that would be a wise thing to do if he's turning face somewhat. A monster face would be a different thing for him. I just don't know yet. But my feeling is it wasn't necessary to have the garbage truck take him away. Then, after the Shield going through that, I'll say this. The ending was better than I expected. But like I said in the beginning of this video, it did not save the pay-per-view. It felt average. Just slightly better than a regular Raw show. It just did. And I'm not saying that the Finn Balor AJ Styles match was bad. It was very good. I still say Alexa Bliss and Mickie James match was the best match of the night. Asuka and Emma was second, and AJ and Finn was third. Then, I didn't care anything about the Enzo match. I didn't care anything about the Jason Jordan. And why didn't Jason Jordan come out during the end of the show? That would have made it better. I didn't say that earlier. He should have came out to help his father. Or at least take his father's place. And that would have made it more important that if they're still going with the Jason Jordan storyline with Kurt Angle, that would have been better. But we didn't even get that. It just felt empty. And it didn't save it for me. For you, probably it saved it. And I would like to know your feelings about this pay-per-view. Was it the best you've seen? And was it a 9 out of 10? A 10-10? Was it a 6 out of 10? Give me a number. I don't care. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like. Have a good day. Have a good